My name is Kathy Weathersby. I serve as the VP of Finance for Wakana. It's my pleasure to introduce to you my personal mentor, a woman who really seemed to be an enigma from the stage. When I first met her at the at a home party, I didn't know who she was, but she was magical. And little did I know she was going to change my life, change my mindset. In fact, this is a woman who has been a success in corporate America and decided to leave corporate America at the height of her career. Why? Because time freedom was so important to her, to make sure that she had the best relationships with her family. You know, those are the people that mean the most. And when you don't have time freedom, you have to create that space. She created the space and attracted people from over 46 countries that wanted to do the same thing for them and their families. She got back into corporate America when asked to head up a cannabis company back in 2017. And then in just a couple years later, she got the vision to begin Wakana. She's a visionary, the CEO, this mom, glam mom, author, co-author, and downright hardest working CEO in America is our illustrious, our beautiful, our tough as nails, but sweetheart, Melissa Boston. Are you out there, Melissa? I thought I saw you.
I'm here, Kathy, but I'm sitting here ready to look around to see who is she introducing, because I'm telling you what, that introduction was something else. But I really have to give it back to you. I am humbled by how gracious you are, someone who's not only a phenomenal business partner, not only a phenomenal VP of finance, but someone who's been a dear friend ever since we met. I mean, oh my goodness, more than a decade ago. We were strangers, then again, fast friends, and now family. So just thank you, Kathy, for all that you do. Thank you for so graciously hosting this call, and thank you for that awesome music. I'm ready to party, level up, level up. Who's ready to level up? Okay. I mean, that's the theme song, guys. And so I'm super excited because actually I am just getting back from a wellness experience. Many of you who experienced this before, Willie, Mooney, and Ann, you guys know what I mean, but we now have the same technology that we traveled all the way to Michigan and Ohio, here in Illinois, okay? And how it's going to impact you guys as founding members. It just showed that we constantly work to be on the cutting edge of what's happening to ensure that we bring the best to Wakana. And I am elated because in a few months, we're going to be making a major announcement regarding some phenomenal wellness technology that's going to take all of our lives to the next level. You know, when we think about all of these modalities that we're dealing with, right? Diabetes, cancer, heart disease, you know, a lot of times we think this is something we inherited, and sometimes we don't think there's much we can do about it. And just to know that there's technology that's out there. And right now it's in the hands of the elite, right? People that actually have a lot of influence. But just being at the table, right? We always talk about being at the right place at the right time, and just know that we're about to take this company to levels that you probably could have only imagined, where we can actually, yes, rewrite those genes, right? When you thought you were dealt a bad hand, maybe diabetes, whatever runs in your family, imagine when you can have the opportunity to be in front of technology that's constantly working to improve your life, improve the lives of your family and friends. And so I just left with another 12 or so of our business partners, and we literally just jumped in the house 2 minutes before the call. So hello, good evening. This is our Wakanaween edition of our founding members program. So excited because yes, we have an all-star lineup, and yes, Lynn Richardson will be on tonight in less than 30 minutes. So you want to grab a pen and paper, be prepared to take copious notes, because we are about to take your life to the next level. We will repeat this call again tomorrow night. So you want to join us at 9 o'clock Central. In fact, we're going to do a Wakanaween version where we're going to dress up like Wakanda forever. Okay, so come dressed up in all of your great gear, and we're going to have a very fun night. And so what I want to do real quick, I want to really start by just painting the vision, okay? Because our founding member program actually stops this year, which means we're going to close it out once and forever in 2022. So you are invited tonight, and you're in a very unique position because you have a seat at the table where there's going to be people around the world as they join our business. They're going to want to be founding members, but guess what? You are amongst the 1%, right? And so we're super excited because 1% of our company gross revenue, you know, we divide that out every single quarter to our founding members. Many of you are already founding members. Some of you have been with us since 2019 when we first started this program. And it's so exciting because we're not talking about something that's just now getting started. It's 3.5-year track record that we've already been doing. We've already paid out more than $80,000. And guess what? It's going to just get better and better and better. And so what I want to do real quick is ask you a question. And the question is, have you ever missed an opportunity? I want you to think about that for a second. Think about what is the opportunity that you missed. You know, someone told me that they actually bought Bitcoin early, but then they sold it. That's a missed opportunity. Another person told me that they actually owned a big chunk of Amazon stock, but when they went through their divorce, they sold it before Amazon was who it was today. See, those are opportunities where you were at the table, but you just didn't recognize the magnitude of it, right? And so for me, my missed opportunity was Google stock. I had a chance to purchase it when it was actually pre-IPO at $85 a share. But that was back in 2001. And I asked myself, what in the world is a Google? But guess what happened? That stock ended up opening up, yes, at $85. Then it went to $300. It went to $600. It split 3 times. I probably should be thankful that I didn't take that opportunity, because had I taken that opportunity, I might be retired somewhere, right, in the Fiji Islands. But I'm here as the CEO of Wakana because I missed that opportunity. And so let's just be thankful that I missed that one. But think about what you've missed. See, we call poor passing over opportunities repeatedly. See, they say the average person will be exposed to the opportunity of a lifetime twice in their lifetime. You have to ask yourself, is this your first or is this your last? And so think about this for a moment. How would you like to share in 1% of our company's gross revenue for the rest of your life? How would you like to have this ability, not only for you to share in it, but create generational wealth, because this is actually a business that's willable to your future generations? And how did we get here? See, oftentimes we're denied seats at the table. I know in the cannabis industry, when you think about the fact that minorities have paid the price for the war on drugs, all the arrests that's happened in our communities, but in most cities around the country, you can close cannabis. It's not African-American people. And so just in 2019, we made a decision. And that decision was for us to go ahead, and we can mute everyone, guys. Let's just mute out the whole line. 2019.
I got you.
Great, wonderful. And so what happens, we decided to build our own table back in 2019. We didn't want to go through the red tape and all the legalities, right, of spending millions of dollars for them to deny us. And that's what we've seen happen on the cannabis side. And so we built a disruptive business where we were able to quickly scale our business across the country. And what's exciting about our industry, we've not only expanded into the CBD side, the health without the high, but now we're also in the wellness side. And so, yes, we're able to legally operate, not just here in Illinois. If you're just in the cannabis space, the marijuana side, you can't take it to, that's called drug trafficking. But what we do is actually legal. So yes, federally, we can put it on an airplane. We can do a lot with it, but we've created this concept called a business in a box, where we literally have thousands of distributors all across this country who have their own mini dispensaries. And what's even more exciting, yes, we did start off with CBD, but we've now expanded into wellness. And so imagine having a wellness dispensary. And so when we think about growth rate and companies, when they get started, ideally, most companies are aiming to grow anywhere from 15 to 25% year after year. That's considered ideal, okay? But here's what the reality is. We know that in our community, and if you look on the line right now, there's a lot of Black and brown people on this line. And unfortunately, we've been impacted by what's happened with COVID and the economy. And what they say is when America catches a cold, Black America gets pneumonia. But I'm happy to report, because we're here at the right place, at the right time, with an industry that's booming, with the right team, the right leadership. I mean, our executive leadership has over 100 years of experience in this type of industry, helping to work with multi-billion-dollar companies. And so, yes, our average growth rate has been 30% year after year after year, even in the midst of this pandemic, even in the midst of this global shutdown, economic recession, unprecedented war, we're growing. And for those of you who understand, what it really means to look at the numbers of a company, this is what we call our target budget. And again, if you thought about this in terms of an investment, I want you to change that thinking right now, because this is not an investment. See, if you were investing with us today, you would have to wait to see, did we meet that target budget and what's the profit? And that's what we would pay you on. But with our revenue share, with our founding member program, we pay you on what we call gross revenue. That means regardless of profit, you're actually paid on the gross revenue of our company. And over the last 40 months, we've actually achieved over $8 million in sales. That averages about $200,000 monthly. And if you look at the amount of money we pay as it relates to commissions, we're talking about $3.5 million. Approximately 44% of our gross revenue is paid back out to the distributors that make up this company. I want you to think about how powerful that is. If you've ever watched companies like Shark Tank and people struggling, right, just to have enough margins to pay themselves. So imagine we're in a position where we're paying entrepreneurs 44%. I mean, that is absolutely powerful. And then when we think about that 1%, yes, over the last 3.5 years, it's been $80,000. That's the amount that we've paid out so far. But guess what the good news is? We are just getting started. This is just the beginning. We haven't even went international yet. So can you imagine when we're doing not just $8 million in the United States, but $8 million in Japan, in China, countries around the world? Imagine if we just had 100 countries. We were doing $1 million. That would be over 100 million. And here's what's exciting for those of you at the seat at the table right now, is that 1% gross revenue. Typically, every time you open up a country, guess what happens? That pool gets diluted because you bring Japan into it. You bring Europe in it. We've decided to kind of create that Walmart story. When you think about Walmart and how you hear and you read about the janitor that was there with them in the beginning is now a multi-millionaire. We want to do something so disruptive, because as we expand this internationally, this pool closes out this year, which means this is your pool. You're going to override for the rest of your life, regardless how big this company gets, right? So is that exciting? I know I get fired up every time I share this presentation. So without any further ado, we want to now look at what it looks like to be a founder, and what do those packs look like? And so I'm going to introduce to you our Chief Sales Officer. She's also called our midwife, because she's helping all of us to give birth to unlimited possibilities. She is our first diamond, our first double diamond. In fact, this is someone who I've known now for over 14 years, someone who's near and dear to my heart, because we started off as business partners, then you become family, and I literally mean family. And so without any further ado, Phyllis Nash, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Wow, wow, wow. You're right. I'm excited. I'm ready to do this all over. I'm ready to share my screen. And I've been working and sharing this with people all day long. And when we all week long. So yes, we're excited over here. And let me just talk about what is your goal right now? My goal is to tell everybody I know about our Founders Pack so that they can leave a legacy. We always say that's what we want to do, but now we have a vehicle to do just that. And then there might be some that want to have a phenomenal Black Friday, all wrapped up with the legacy packs. With the Founders Pack, you're going to have the busiest shopping day of the year with Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And some of you on the line are working your business and you want to hit our highest rank, Go Diamond. Well, this by far is the time of the year to go diamond. Anybody hearing my voice, even if you're a guest on the line, can actually go diamond within these next month and a half. And so what is that new Founders Pack? Well, that new Founders Pack is anybody that has never joined us purchasing a crown jewel. If you even came into the business and you purchased a stimulus or millennial pack, well, you're going to be considered a new founding member. And the price for you is $1,799.90. Now, guys, this is the early bird special. It changes November 1st. So if you're hearing my voice, you still have time enough to tell everybody that you know, because tomorrow we're going to do this again and you can save them $100. Now, the total value of this pack is $2,700. And so you're going to get some of our most used products, our popular products, and quite a bit of products. But not only that, you're going to be able to sell those products, use those products, actually sample. But you're also going to get Wakana University. That's a $200 value. You're going to get $400 back, 200 in Wakana bucks. So if it's something that's not included in your pack, you can go shopping for it right in your back office. And you're going to get 200 cash back immediately. So again, that $7.99 drops down to $13.99. And remember, we allocate 1% of our gross revenue. I got to keep saying that because you've never heard of that happening, to a quarterly pool, and all qualified active founding members with at least 3 retail customers each month will receive a payout according to the value of the shares. And guys, you can be your own customer. And then the next package would be our Crown Jewel Founding Dispensary. And so some of you all have already participated in the founding pack. You've already bought a crown jewel. Well, you're going to get that pack at $899. Now you're going to get half the product, but you're still going to be able to have that crown jewel. And we have a maximum of 3 crown jewel packs that you can purchase in this last time before we close this deal out. Now, if you're a new founding member, for that first pack, you will pay $17.99. But after that, if you want 2 more packs, it will cost you $899.95 plus tax in whatever state you're in. And guys, let me just say this. I am one of the ones that collect the checks to deposit. The 90% of the checks coming in are where people are buying 3 founding packs. So they see this as the value that it is. Now, instead of $200 on this pack, you'll get $100 back in Wakana bucks and $100 in cash back. Pretty phenomenal. So now, this is gone, y'all. Be amongst the first 100 to get this phenomenal business in a box where you can represent your business, and as you open it up, it's another display. But we do have these on sale for anybody that would like to purchase it. Now look at our office, guys. This is the wall in our office. We're gonna take away the 4 of us, and now it's all about the founders. It's all about the distributors. So the final closeout this time right now, all of those names will be added to the founding members wall. And remember, close out. I get excited because, like she said, suppose we had 10 countries and they did 1 million a year. Now that's not a lot of money for a country to do, but that's $100 million right there. And nobody else can experience that income. The 1% of us will share in the gross revenue. Now, if you get this pack, you're also going to be paid as a sapphire for your first 6 months. You might not really understand what sapphire means, but if you, with the purchase of the new member founding pack, you are paid as a sapphire for 6 months. Now, this pay as status doesn't include the crown jewel revenue pool, but it does include the 6th level of team overrides. And as people are getting and excited about this founding member pack, your organization is going to grow quickly. So if you didn't have this, guys, you would be leaving money on the table. So as you come in as a new founding member or an existing one, if you're not a sapphire in this company, you will be paid as one, 6 levels down, and be not leaving any money on the table. So how do you qualify? You qualify by simply having 3 customers, retail customers a month, and one can be yourself. That's right, 3 customers and you can be one. And now, from now through all of 2023, those same 3 monthly customers will satisfy your customer requirements. So no matter how many founding packs you have, could someone mute out, please? Okay, so no matter how many founding member packs you might have, you're only going to be required through 2023 to have 3 customers. So that's pretty exciting, guys, because you're going to get paid every quarter if you qualify. If you happen not to qualify, let's say January you qualify, February you qualify, March you don't qualify, well, you're going to be paid for January and February. And the beauty about this is that you will always be a founder. Suppose your life is real busy right now and you're not ready to build our business, but you can just get your 3 customers. But say in 2 years, it's $100 million. You're going to say, hey, I'm going to start building this Wakana business because I want more of that pot. So that's what I'm saying. Don't miss out on this opportunity because it's forever. Now, the customer requirements, we are waiving the customer requirement until January 1st. Okay, guys, I'm going to do my own meeting now. So hold on a second.
I got it.
Okay. So we are waiving the customer requirement until January 1st, 2023. So that means if you get started now, and this last quarter of the year is our busiest time, then you don't even have to have those 3 customer requirements to be paid for the last quarter of the year. Now you got to come in by tomorrow night at midnight or Pacific time. So that gives the East Coast a couple of more hours as well as the Central time zone. But you need to have that money order, that certified check, and you can actually pay with a credit card, but there is a 5% surcharge. On November 1st, once 2023 starts, you will need 3 retail customers monthly. 1 customer could be your retail purchase, and if you miss a month, like I said before, you will qualify for the months that you were met the criteria. So earning more shares. If you're in our business and building our business, once you hit Pearl, now you'll, instead of 1 share, you'll get 3 shares for each month you qualify as a Pearl. Our next Sapphire, you'll get 6 shares. At Ruby, 8 shares. And at Emerald, 10 shares. And then at Diamond, 12 shares. Now, if you've been around since we first started, that 12 shares could actually be 18 shares. That means that if you started in 2019 and bought the max packs that you could, that means you have 7 packs total. Pretty exciting, guys. We did the math on some of these and it's pretty exciting. So who wants to go to Las Vegas? And not only go to Las Vegas, because this past Legends conference will be our last virtual one. We will be in Vegas for our 4th year anniversary. And if you hit Ruby in our comp plan, then you will have your accommodations paid. And if you do it 2 times, you will be able to take someone along with you. Guys, if you don't know, you can do it. I was in Indianapolis and one of the young ladies there, just between Thursday and Saturday, hit Ruby. Now that's pretty exciting. So everybody can go to Vegas on Wakana. Diamonds in Dubai. If you hit diamond, and what does diamond mean? $100,000 in volume in a calendar month, year. I said the wrong thing last time. And again, that's right, $100,000 in a calendar month. You are a diamond. You cannot beat what's happening right now, because guess what? If you buy a new founding member, the points are 2,200. If you buy the regular founding member, that's 1,100 points. So if you really are serious about hitting any one of these ranks, this is by far the time to do it. And with that being said, I want to bring up our chief operating officer, someone near and dear to my heart. I have known this young man since he was a teenager. He was a child prodigy, having his own business at 13 years old. And he is just such a blessing coming to Wakana and serving in the capacity that he does. His team loves him. We love him. And now he's got a new position because he's a presenter, whether he wanted to be or not, but he's so good at it. Then you'll see as he comes up. Christian Phillips, are you out there?
Hey, Phyllis, I am out here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect, because I'm doing this a little remotely this time. Actually, I'm traveling, so I'm going to need you to go ahead and move the slides as I discuss, okay? Okay, perfect. So guys, as Phyllis already mentioned, you know, this is the prime opportunity, and the product fulfillment that she's talking about with those 2 packs, whether it's the Crown Jewel pack or the new Founders pack, you're going to get those packs as early as November 14th for pickup. And then we'll start shipping those out as an operations team as early as November 15th. Now that is for those who pre-order, and that pre-order date, like Phyllis mentioned, is going to be tomorrow. That last date is going to be tomorrow. Once the clock hits 12 midnight or 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, giving those East Coast and Central Coast people a couple of 2-hour, 3-hour waiver, then that cutoff is going to be there. Next slide. So if you are interested in becoming if you're interested in adding on packs, or either you already a Crown Jewel member, you will pay basically, $899.95, and that is if you pay before November the 1st, and that is if you're paying by e-wallet, cashier's check, or money order. You're going to save that $100. And if you are paying by those methods, you're going to actually make that check payable to Wakana for life, and they are postmarked, so don't think that the check has to arrive to us by the 1st. If you send it on October 31st, tomorrow, the post office will be open for Halloween. We will get it, and it'll be postmarked, and you'll be vested, and you'll also be in that 100 in the event that we haven't already hit that number. For new founding members, when you pay via your e-wallet, you're going to actually pay $1799.95, which is a savings of $200. Now, as I think Phyllis already mentioned, that if you're brand new to the business, or if you have a Crown Jewel or less pack that you've already purchased, then you're going to have to purchase that new founding member for that 1 share, and then those additional shares will be, you can purchase those Crown Jewels, and you're going to also make that check out to Wakana for life, and as I mentioned, by November 1st. So when you're mailing your payments, you're going to make that check payable to Wakana for life. Once again, care of founding members. It's going to go to our headquarters in Chicago, Illinois. That is 411 East 35th Street, and that's in Chicago, Illinois. Zip code is 60616. And we do have those credit card options if you're wanting to go ahead and make those payments and get those American Express membership reward points, or you want to save with your Discover card to get those Capital One points or what have you. You can make those payments by contacting our customer service team at 1-888-312-0420. Now, there is a surcharge in addition to the actual fee itself if you're making by credit card payments. And so for the Crown Jewel pack, that's going to be that $949.95. And then for those new founding members, that's going to be $1899.90. And the way that we pay out, so basically each quarter, and this is one of the things that I actually do within Wakana, one of my multiple roles is actually I'm calculating all the sales. So those 3 sales that we're waiving for this quarter, actually I do that. That's what I've done for all the prior quarters in awarding those particular shares. And guys, one of the most important things I would like to share with you all today is that there's so many people that are inside of our compensation structure, however, and they qualify with these customer sales, but they're not vested. This is one of the reasons why we have to actually change how we're thinking. We have to actually get in front of the equation, and we have to make those decisions and not miss up on those opportunities. Melissa shared with us a couple of days ago that poor basically means passing over opportunities repeatedly. And we don't want to do that. We want to change that narrative, guys. We want to build that legacy. So by building that legacy, this payout schedule shows you that within every quarter, we're going to pay out on the corresponding month on the 15th or the 22nd. I'm going to use this quarter as an example. So for this quarter, October, November, December, which all of you have now been notified that the customer requirement is waived, which makes my job much easy because therefore everyone's going to qualify for all the shares that they're vested for, all the shares that they purchased before November the 1st. Or actually you can technically purchase after November 1st, but remember, you're not going to get that reduced pricing. And those payable shares are going to be, those shares are going to be payable between January 15th and the 22nd. And you can see the schedule for the other months. Next slide. So the average share is about so over the past few years, shares have averaged about $4. So I just want you all to think about that. As of right now, we've been in business going on our 4th year, okay? And our sales have been phenomenal for a startup business during the recession, during when the economy has been in a downfall. And we've been thriving, we've been sustaining. Could you imagine what's going to happen when the money shifts from one equation or one side of the equation to the other? Because money does not disappear. We're not burning money. What happens with money is it goes from one side to the other. So when the money flows through our industry, which we have already shown you as of today that it is flowing, once that increases, this pool is going to be locked and you're going to be vested to actually own or earn those shares of the 1% of the profit that's being made by Wakana. And so one thing I want you all to think about, I've used this example several times before, is that all of you have a cell phone, whether it's Samsung or Apple. And what we do each year, or what Apple does, or what Samsung does each year, is that they target us and they tell us that we need to get the latest and the greatest, whether it's the iPhone 13 or the 14. What they do is they put us on a payment plan for $30 a month, and then they do that for 12 months. And then after that, they come out with another one, and we do it over and over and over again. And we're not getting any type of profit or any type of residual value from spending that. In fact, we get a monthly bill in addition to that for service. So why would you not go ahead and invest in something that is going to be beneficial for your own well-being, your family's well-being, is going to give you and position your family for a legacy, because this is willable for generations to generations to generations, and the pot is only going to grow because guess what? This pool closes. This is a very time-sensitive situation, and I urge all of you and challenge all of you to make the right decision on this day, because essentially what you don't want to do is pass up this opportunity, remain poor or insane, doing the same things over and over and over again, and expecting different results. Next slide. So as I mentioned, that the new enrollment is 1%. For new enrollment, we have 1% of the gross revenue. The founding member program does end on November 30th. That means that for the first time, there will be no new shares awarded. So this pool will lock forever. That's reiterating what I just discussed with you all, guys. This is the visual aid to support what I just said. The time is of the essence, okay? You know, this is an opportunity that you don't want to pass up on. You've seen how other people have maneuvered and did what they did to be a part of Apple, to be a part of Amazon, to be a part of all of these other companies. We are changing lives, and at the same time, we want you all to be positioned to be in front of it, to be able to benefit, and also to be able to pass that down to your family. And this is so important, guys, because so many times we are on the short end of the stick. This is your time to actually be on the front end and actually, like I mentioned, pass that over to your generations to come. Next slide. Now, I do want to make this disclaimer. The founding program is not an investment. Investments are based on profit. If you qualify for a share, any particular month, you are guaranteed a payout. You are guaranteed a payout. In addition, you receive products and other rewards greater or equal value. What company is doing that out here, guys? Not one company at all. Because guess what? If it was a company that was doing it, you probably wouldn't be on this phone call, which means that everybody on this phone call is looking for an opportunity, and this is not an opportunity that you want to pass over. Okay, guys? I challenge each and every one of you to stay plugged in. Next slide. I challenge each and every one of you all to stay plugged in, to make sure that you act now. Take advantage of these early bird prices. You're going to maximize the extra points. We're waiving a customer requirement. This is a no-brainer. You don't even, we want you to do the work. However, right now for the next quarter, you are vested into our founders program without meeting any requirement. So if you want to study, you want to learn more about the business, I've heard so many different, I won't call it excuses. I don't want to call it, it's more of a challenge. A lot of people challenge themselves. Well, I want to learn a little bit more about this. I want to kind of do my research. Well, we're giving you 3 months to do your research, guys, so that you can actually look at this without feeling like you needed to hit the ground running. Now, we encourage you to hit the ground running, but we're releasing you of that commitment, and we're still going to give you the same opportunity as we gave people years before. And then, so remember, the first 100 is going to receive that limited box, and it's a very nice box. I had an opportunity to look at all of that, and it's just a keepsake, and has all the information, and it's just inspirational, inspirational box. So I do challenge you all to come in at the first 100, so you can get that. So what do you need to do? I'm wishing all of you all financial success. I challenge you all to set your goals. I want you all to go diamond, because I'm going to be in Dubai. I don't know about you all. I'm going to be in Dubai. I'm going to be in Vegas too. And I plan, and I have a good time. I just went and visited Chicago. We had our great legacy conference, and we also went out to Michigan with a couple of the Diamond members, as well as dinner and stuff like that. And we just had a good time fellowshipping with everybody. And so in order to be able to do that, guys, you need to make your list. You got to book your parties. You need to ask for support. If you need assistance, not everybody has all the answers. You have to plug into your resources. You need to give the gift of health and wealth. You need to attend the calls and webinars by staying plugged in. Reach out to the team that you've already established. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to your family members. Don't be selfish. Share this opportunity. You need to add people to the Facebook groups. You have to follow up, guys. This is so important. If you do not follow up, you will be literally right next to someone at the next in-person convention and say, I know you, I talked to you about this, but guess what? You didn't follow up. And because you didn't follow up, that person is now either sponsored or dealing with someone else. And that happens because we do not follow up. So you have to do that. And then ultimately, you're going to be a part of the greatest wealth transfer ever. So I'm either going to turn it over to either Melissa or Latrice Levitt, because I know we have Lynn waiting, and I apologize if I have taken my time, but have a good night, guys.
Awesome, Christian. I think Latrice is out there, but safe travels to you. And Latrice, I know you're there just listening to this awesome information, but we got Lynn ready to come up. So take it away.
Latrice, are you up?
You're muted out.
Unmute.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Happy Sunday, everybody. I am absolutely so excited to be here with Kana and Wakana Nation. And here's the bottom line. Everybody has heard it tonight that we are in the midst of the harvest, and there is a wealth transfer taking place. And what's absolutely fantastic about where we are right now is that we have attracted leading experts to support us in this major transition and to support us in making the right decisions right now. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to somebody who I've known close to 30 years. She's actually not even a friend of mine. She's a sister of mine, a divine spiritual sister that came into our life so we can do good together. And now we are working together again in this beautiful time in our history to help our people to grow financially. So she was named by Urban Influence magazine as one of the 20th hottest influencers in America. Dr. Lynn Richardson is an author. She is an entertainment executive. She is a celebrity financial coach who uses her quick wit, ladies and gentlemen, and her humorous presentation style to help others face their money issues and achieve their personal and professional and spiritual goals. With more than 2 decades of leading roles in the banking, and I met her in the real estate industry as she was a mortgage guru, Lynn's vision is best portrayed in her books, most notably Living Check to Monday. The real deal about money, credit, and financial security. And I know for sure she wrote that, guys, in 1 weekend. It was absolutely amazing. Which this book achieved bestseller status at the Congressional Black Caucus Conference. And also, you guys may have seen her on Good Morning America so many times, Fox Business, Access Live, the Steve Harvey TV show, the Hallmark Channel. And of course, you know, she has run companies for people like Russell Simmons and MC Light, but today she is our sister and of course, a member of our community who is helping us to get prepared for this wonderful time in history, the wealth transfer, because the harvest is here. So without further ado, I would like to invite my dear friend, my sister in life and in spirit and in serving, Miss Lynn Richardson. Are you
Hey, hello, everyone. I am so excited. Thank you so much, Latrice, for having me here. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you to all of the leadership who has really just done a great job of starting this company. I know that it is Sunday night and I don't have a whole lot of time. So I want to help you understand how you're going to scale up your business, because guess what? The harvest is here and the time is now. It is our season to win. And one of the things that Latrice and Melissa and all of the leadership wanted me to share is how you are going to take advantage of this wealth transfer. Let me help you understand something. One of the most important things you have to know is that when the economy is down, people are going up. Whenever there is a catastrophe, there is a win. There is a big win someplace. And for the first time in American history, during this past pandemic, we have had an opportunity to come up. But I want to know, if you came up, are you still up? And if you didn't come up, are you going to get up? So I'm going to talk to you about some laws. These are some basic things that I know that if we understand what they are and if we apply them to our daily lives on a regular basis, then we can understand how to get to the next level. Well, first of all, I was born and raised in Chicago. My grandmother was 75 years old, cleaning homes to wealthy people, putting me through college. She taught me to go to school, get a good education, get a good job, go to church on Sunday, wear clean underwear in case you get hit by a bus. Like that is in the grandmama book. When I got off to college, I didn't know about money. Because anytime I needed money for anything, I'd say, Grandma, I need money for a homecoming or a new outfit. She'd tell me to look in the room on top of the shelf, behind the box, inside my pocketbook, inside a zipper, wrapped up in a piece of paper towel, it's $20. And so by the time I find the money, I didn't even know what I needed it for because there was too many steps to get there. But the point is, I got to college, I went into a credit card room, I'm at one of the world's greatest financial institutions, one of the top 10 in the world, and I'm on scholarship. I can't pay anything. So I went and got a bunch of credit cards. Couldn't pay anybody. Always have the gift of gab. When I'd say to the creditors, they'd say, Lynn, can you borrow the money? I'd say, can I borrow it from you? I had all kind of funny answers until I got out into the real world. I get out into the real world, my credit is jacked up, my furniture from Rent-A-Center, my credit score, I don't even know, it was under 300, I believe. I don't even know if it's possible for that. And so I realized I'm supposed to be young, Black, and gifted, but I am broke. And so fast forward, I get married, I have 3 children. I'm a financial expert in Chicago. I'm on a radio station. I'm helping people get their money straight. I helped a lady with 4 bankruptcies and 2 foreclosures, overcome her credit issues. She got into a house with a 3% interest rate and almost no money down. And now everybody's coming to me, and I'm making more money in a day than my grandmother makes in a year. Let me repeat, I'm making more money in a day than my grandmother makes in a year. But guess what? I was living a lie. I was living check to Monday. And if you don't know what that is, let me explain it. You see, check to check is a blessing. That means you get paid on Friday, and by the next payday, you're broke. But check to Monday is a whole nother game. You get paid on Friday, you kick it on the weekend, you pay on your past due bills, and by Monday, you're broke. And I was living that lifestyle, making 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, $90,000 a month, not a year, but a month. So I spend my life helping people understand this. More money doesn't solve a money problem. If it did, millionaires wouldn't go bankrupt. If you make $50,000 a year, but you spend $100,000, you live in check to Monday. If you make $200,000 a year, but you spend $300,000, you live in check to Monday. If you make $10 million a year, but you spend $20 million, you are living check to Monday. And let me tell you something, the harvest is here and the time is now. And it is our time to stop this lie. Because let me help you understand something about Black people. Anything we do well. You put us in tennis, we dominate. You put us in golf, we dominate. We've been in money and we are still behind the 8 ball. So it's going to take us accepting the transfer. This is not a matter of whether you can have it. It is, are you going to accept it? In accepting anything, you must know the law of that thing. I just saw something from TD Jakes yesterday, and he said, here's the deal. If you're trying to get to the next level, you got to pass the test. And your reward for passing the test is the next test. You think life is going to be easier when you make it? You think life is going to be less difficult when you cross that threshold for your business, your money, your finances? No. Why? Because to whom much is given, much is required. So I want to talk to you very quickly about the transfer and what you're going to do to access it, but more importantly, to keep it, build it, and grow it. Because what I just heard prior to me coming on is an absolute excellent opportunity for you to get some ownership and stake and build residual income. But again, more money doesn't solve a money problem. So what are we going to do? The laws of abundance. Let's talk about that. First of all, understand that God craves order. God is not the author of confusion. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So for everybody who is sitting in a cluttered office, clean it up. For everybody who is sitting in a cluttered house, clean it up. For those who say, well, I work better in clutter, that's just because you don't know any better, okay? God is not the author of confusion. He wants us to be in order, and obedience is better than sacrifice. This is not the season of sacrifice. This is the season of obedience. In the Bible, when King Saul went and killed everything except the choices of everything and came back and gave it to God as a sacrifice, God said, no, I told you to kill it all. He said, I thought I could sacrifice this to you. And God said, obedience is better than sacrifice. So God does not give us life and death in the same assignment. The holidays are coming up. How much money are you about to spend? And we're facing a recession. The holidays are coming up. How many Christmas presents are you going to buy with no budget? Let me help you understand something. Sacrifice is not what we're after. We know how to sacrifice. We've been sacrificing since we got here. Now it is time to obey. Decisions. This is not about destiny. It is about decisions. When people say, well, it was meant to be, that's not the truth. Do not believe anybody who tells you it was meant to be. Because if you listen to the word, then God says he created Adam and Eve to live forever. But they made a decision. They made a decision. And your decision then points you in the direction of your destiny. So your results, your obedience to order directs the decisions you make, and this controls your destiny. Your destiny, what is your destiny? Where are you going to be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? Do you have a 3-month emergency fund, a 6-month? Are you investing in your retirement plan? Do you have a strategy for your business so you can scale your business from 3 figures to 4 figures to 5 figures, 6 and 7? Because it is possible for you to earn 7 figures in this what kind of business? Your obedience to order directs the decisions you make, and this controls your destiny. And your destiny is the result of your obedience to order. Don't you sit down and say, if it was meant to be, it's going to happen. No, you have a choice to make. So what do? Understand the law of difference. There is something different about you. There's something different about this business. The law of difference says that your difference decides your importance and determines who pursues you. When I first started speaking about financial principles, I was working with Latrice. Yes, she's been my friend for well over 2 decades. But then I came to corporate America, and then I came into entertainment. And in the entertainment business, even those who were more ratchet than me told me to tone it down. They said, Lynn, if you're going to talk about money, you need to tone it down a bit. So I did. I toned it down. I did a TV show and nobody recognized who I was. My children were like, well, what happened? Because you be beating us regularly with a switch like Grandma B used to beat you. They did not even recognize me. But when I began to speak the truth as I know it, as firmly as I know it, like Medea, with power, that's when my business began to blow up. So whatever is different about you, I don't care what they say, you keep being you, because that's who's going to be attracted to you. The law of the mind. This is about accepting the wealth transfer. Your mind is your greatest asset. Do you have more money in your closet or in your house than you have in your mind? You're going to have to invest in your mind. You're going to have to invest in more knowledge. The only reason why Black people and brown people are not wealthy is because we don't know what we're doing. Rich people stay rich because they act poor, and poor people stay poor because they act rich. And poor people stay poor acting rich in front of other poor people, which is real crazy. And I saw something else the other day. It says rich people only accept advice from people as rich or richer than them, and poor people only accept advice from people who are as poor or as poor than them. The difference between that is knowledge. But let me tell you something about knowledge. You also have to take action. Knowledge is not power until it is put into action. So I want us to go from learning about abundance to actually putting those practices into action. And if we don't know what to do, then invest in what your next step is. The next thing that I want to share with you, I'm not just sure what happened to my screen here. Okay, here we go. All right. The law of recognition. The law of recognition says that everything you need is near you, merely waiting on your recognition. So you've started your Wakana business. You've got multiple streams of income. You're trying to figure out how to get things to the next level. One of the biggest things that I say to all of my students, and as a result of the pandemic, I have students all over the globe on every single continent except Antarctica. And so when they call me and they ask me a question, they already have the answer. And many of them, once they see the answer, they go from 0 to 100 or from 100 to 2,000 or whatever it is. Everything that you need, you have it. It's right here. It's merely waiting on your recognition. I remember in 2019, after Grandma B passed, I was devastated. I really didn't want to do anything anymore. I wanted to quit the entertainment business. I told Light, I told Russell Simmons, I told them all, I'm going to just go back home to Chicago, buy a condo on the lake, and just look at the sky and the lake for like 2 years. I don't know. And at that time, I was doing all these appearances on Steve Harvey and Good Morning America and all these things. And people needed help, but I didn't want to give them the help. I wanted them to go find the help someplace else. And I'll never forget the day when I realized that there was something else for me to do. And I cried because I didn't want to do the work. I'm gonna be honest, I did not want to do the work. You've got to do the work. Work is a wisdom opportunity revealed kinetically. I'll talk to you about that a little bit later. And so I sat there at my dining room table and I cried. And my husband of 27 years, who always protects me, pretty much lets me have my way, he said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I don't want to do anything else." He said, "But you got to. You've got this, you've got that." I had all these classes, I had all these books. And I had been behind the scenes working in the entertainment business for about 9 years at that point. I didn't want to teach anybody anything else. And so once I was aware that God was calling me and my husband wasn't going to let me off the hook, I wiped my tears like this. I used my arms like a little 2-year-old kid. I wiped my tears and I just got to typing. Guess what happened? 2 months later, the pandemic came. Something that we could have never predicted or expected. But because I used the things that were right there, I turned my books into classes. I started teaching people what I knew, even though I didn't want to. And therein lies the key to your next level. Everything that you need is right there, merely waiting on your recognition. The law of two. 2 are necessary for multiplication. 1 can slay 1,000, but the Bible says 2 can slay 10,000. So if you've got a business partner here in Wakana, you need to team up, hold each other accountable, set goals, set deliverables, put some things in place, keep each other accountable, because it's going to take at least 2 of you. Light and I are the female, the hip hop Oprah and Gail. Latrice and I, we're like the doctor and the nurse. You've got a twosome, and there's someone there who's going to help you get to the next level. The law of place. Where you are is just as important as what you are. Provision is in your divine place of assignment. So you need to know and decide that you are here because you have been chosen for this space. You've been chosen for this time. When I made the decision to relocate to California, I knew I couldn't stay in Chicago. I love Chicago, but my feet had to hit the ground and I had to own land in California in order to do what was next for me. Now, that may not be a physical relocation for you. That might be a relationship relocation, a business relocation, a mental relocation. But where you are is just as important as what you are. The law of honor. Who you choose to honor determines your success. Stop burning bridges. If you burned a bridge, go clean it up. If you defied somebody, go ask for forgiveness. And them accepting your forgiveness is not your problem. That's their problem. You don't want any burned bridges. I always say to people, in this business, I don't want to leave any stone unturned. I never know who may have to save my child. I never know who may need to save my husband, me, on a road, dark somewhere. You never know who's going to be in your space. So in this space, yes, there are haters, naysayers, blockers, and crab bear leg pullers. But your job is to be happy, love everyone, not accept any toxicity, and accept some boundaries. But the law of honor is very important. Here's the most important law of them all. And then I'm going to go into a few principles and some next steps. The law of the seed. Seed plus expectation equals harvest. You are planting a seed right now because you're here. You're planting a seed every day you wake up. You're planting a seed every time you go to that office, every time you do something in this business, every time you tell another person about how they can be more healthy. Every single time you're planting a seed. But here's the deal. If you don't expect it to grow, it's not going anywhere. You must plant the seed and expect the deliverance on the other end. You must plant the seed and expect your harvest. You must plant the seed and expect your financial breakthrough. So if you go to yourwealthacademy.com, I am so honored. I'm just honored to say that I'm working with the leaders here at Wakana to help you get what you need. Because the only reason, I'm going to say this, the only reason why Black people aren't wealthy, and I want you to understand this, the average net worth of a Black woman between the age of 35 and 55 is $1. For our Hispanic counterparts, it's over 20,000. For our Asian counterparts, it's over 70,000. For our white counterparts, it's over 80,000. For us, it's $1. Your net worth is the difference between everything you own minus what you owe. The laws and the steps that we were taught weren't the truth. We were taught to go to school, get an education, get a good job. People are getting an education, but they're graduating with student loans. You got a student loan, it's a mortgage, but you don't have a house. Because let me tell you something, a $90,000 student loan is a mortgage. A $200,000 student loan is a mansion, okay? So here's what we have to do. We actually have to learn the rules of the game and play the game by the rules. Number one, to activate the transfer, you've got to prove that you can actually handle the transfer. To whom much is given, much is required. I remember being broke. I remember being on food stamps in this century. But let me tell you what's more difficult than that. Having the breakthrough and now having to manage all the resources that God has blessed me with. Having an estate plan, making sure that the money I'm making is actually growing, making sure that it's not being stolen, making sure that my business is scalable. Because when you have a business and it's supposed to be available to multiple people, you are responsible for making sure people can get to it. So in the Entrepreneurs Academy, you learn first how to get your budget under control. I talk about the 10-10-30-50. I'm not going to go into it here, but it's the first 10% you tithe, the next 10% you save, 30% is cash in your pocket. The remaining 50% stays in your checking account for your bills. That 30% is for your groceries, gas, hair, and nails. It's designed to help you avoid a spending addiction. The spending addiction is what you have when you go to the grocery store for toothpaste and walk out with $179.47 worth of stuff you don't need, talking about it was on sale. Child, it wasn't on sale for you, okay? So we've got to control money. And then you must eliminate your debt, because debt is the middleman between you and your wealth. All right, so we talk about that in the Entrepreneurs Academy. Two, in the Entrepreneurs Academy, get more money. You must have multiple streams of income, and you need 4. Most people have a job, money from a job. That's employee income, where you exchange time for money, but you will never be able to exchange enough time to get the money that you need to be wealthy. The second type of income, which is your kind of business and others, is self-employed. You own the job, okay? But you must be in it and work it in order for it to grow. And that's great. You can make some massive money. But at some point, you've got to then get a business. You own a system. You are now leveraging other people's time for money. And then finally, investment income, where you are making money while you sleep. And the opportunity that was presented to you prior to me coming on is one of those investment opportunities. You also need to learn how to get your money back. What do I mean? If you went to the grocery store and bought $200 worth of groceries, and you came home and ate them all, and the grocery store manager called you in 2 weeks and said, come back and get your money, but keep the food, you will stop, drop, and roll. Well, that's what the IRS says when you have a home-based business and you know what you're doing. Do you know that meals in 2021 and 2022 are 100% tax deductible? I dare you to tell me if you tracked every single meal that you spent money on in 2021 or 2022, so all of it can be a tax write-off. I don't go out to eat for personal reasons, never. I don't care who it is, my husband, my children, because everybody works for the home-based business anyway. So when you get your money back, then you learn how to master the tax code. And everybody's talking about, well, you'll get an audit. Who cares about an audit? Get ready so you don't have to stay ready. Why are we always so scared to do anything? Because we fear we're not going to do it the right. Tell the truth, learn the rules of the game, play the game by the rules, document your expenses. And if you don't know what you're doing, join the Entrepreneurs Academy. Number 4, make your money grow. That's what the prior presentation was talking about. You've got to figure out ways to make your money grow. Why? Because money will work harder for you than you can work for it. You're on this call right now because you're still trying to figure out how to make money work for you when you're not working for it. Money will work harder for you than you can work for it. Number 5, own where you live. And if you can't own in your state, find a new state. With the virtual state of the economy and working from home, you can buy in another state and still build wealth. You can buy a house with no money down, rehab it, have no mortgage payment for 6 months, and you can also include your business in that residence in order to get to the next level, and you can live for rent free. Number 6, protect your wealth. You must have every insurance that they're passing out. Life insurance, homeowners insurance, car insurance, key man insurance for the key people in your business, disability insurance. In Light's business, I'm a key man, so she has insurance on me in case something happens to me. She's gonna have to hire 5 people to replace me. So will Russell, okay? We have insurance on Light's voice. If she gets laryngitis, who's gonna voice the BET Awards, the NAACP Image Awards, the Oscars? She's on everything, the Emmys, everything. Who's gonna do it? So we've got insurance on that voice. Protect your wealth, and also make sure you have an estate plan to pass your wealth on to your heirs. For everybody here who has a child and you have a life insurance policy and your child is a beneficiary, you are doing the wrong thing. You are out of order and you don't know what you're doing. Because if something happens to you and that child is a minor, they cannot get that money. The state would have to appoint a guardian, and the guardian would control that money, and it might not be what you want. So you must have an estate plan to direct your things. And all of these are things that you have to learn in the Entrepreneurs Academy. There are no quick answers for hard questions. And so everything is a class and a process. 7, master your credit, the use of other people's money. A recession is coming. Your balances need to be low, and you need to get access to as much credit as you can. Most people don't know if you have a low credit score, you should have a secured Discover, a secured Citibank, because those creditors on your credit report show other creditors that you are worthy. They don't know that it's a secure card. After 6 months or a year, they give the money back to you, and now you've got access to more credit. Credit works this way. You need to have credit and not need it, rather than need it and not have it. And then lastly, I'm going to talk to you about what you need to do to elevate and execute your business. So if you go to yourwealthacademy.com, you can start with the Entrepreneurs Academy. For those of you who want legal advice on trademarks and your corporate LLC books and all of those things that you need, then you can go and get the Elevate and Execute package so you can protect your business. If you say, Lynn, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I need somebody to guide me one-on-one, I need a strategy, and I'm ready to put in the work, then you may want to choose the Scale Up Executive Coaching, which includes a whole bunch of things. I'm not going to go into it all here. I know that I am probably past my time. Thank you all so much for this opportunity. It is our time. The harvest is here and the time is now, and it is our season to win. Go to yourwealthacademy.com so we can work together.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm sitting here just amazed. I'm trying to take my notes. So let me turn my camera back on, Lynn, and let's bring up everyone else. But you just shut it down. Let me show my camera. One moment. Wow, that was amazing, guys. Give it up. I hope y'all blowing the chat up, because I know even my husband, I took the computer to the kitchen, guys, because I had to check on food for my husband. And he was listening to you, Lynn. He was like, who is that? No, he's an accountant, okay? He's very fiscally conservative. He knows a lot about money. And he had to stop, turn down the football game so that he can hear what you had to say, honey. So you just shut it down. I'm going to put my camera on. There we go.
Amen.
Bring it back to the office, but that was amazing, guys. And so Your Wealth Academy, make sure you take note of that. That's a special website constructed for those of you on the line tonight, okay? We're not only giving you access to this information, but that I know there's a special discount that you're getting automatically, which means we have the lowest prices available, right, for those phenomenal classes. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Phyllis, Christian, let's jump on the line. Excited. I know there's probably some questions out there. But this is exciting, guys. I mean, you just blew our mind tonight. Phyllis, what you have to say about Lynn?
I'm excited, right? And you know, I'm never speechless, but I know so many people absolutely love what they heard. And now that they're coming on board as a founder and they're going to be reaping the benefits of this business, now you know how to handle your money. And this partnership is just going to blow our business totally to the next level. So I am so glad you are on board and we're partnering together.
Yes, I know oftentimes we talk about wellness, and that's what most people know us for. Wellness, home-based business. Wellness is what, 3.4 trillion. When you think about home business, $190 billion. But when you think about wealth, you think about what's happening, whether it's Forex, whether it's cryptocurrency, we're talking about a $2.4 quadrillion industry, guys. 2.6, I believe now. I mean, that's like $6 trillion every single day. So we have got to master the money game, guys. And so now we're adding wealth as one of the market segments for our business, which means you're going to be able to participate in a lot of these type of classes. And we're flat out excited. So with that being said, oh my goodness, who else is out there? Any comments? I know, Christian, you're traveling, so maybe you can unmic real quick.
No, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. I can. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I mean, I'm going to be as transparent as I always am. This is my first exposure to Lynn Richardson, but just the amount of time, the small amount of time that she had to speak to us today and gracing her with her presence and her knowledge. I mean, this is a wealth of information, some of which I am so happy that I actually am doing. So I'm very happy about that. But you know, there's so much more that you can learn, you know, and just even with me, just knowing or just seeing that, hey, I've done some of the things, but I haven't done all of the things, which means that everybody on this call could definitely go to yourwealthacademy.com and learn something or either add to what you already have going on within your portfolio. So I don't want anyone to just think that, hey, I know it all or I have it all, because 9 times out of 10, well, not even 9 times out of 10, you just don't. And so this is just phenomenal. I'm actually getting ready to, I understand the assignment. I'm going to yourwealthacademy.com right right now. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm going to take that next step, you know, just to add value to what I'm already giving to Wakana. And so, you know, and I challenge all of you all to do the same thing in your own businesses. And, you know, this is just, I'm excited. I am super excited. And, you know, I was driving, I was in the car and I was listening, and I'm like, I feel like I'm Phyllis right now. I mean, this is amazing. The information I just heard, I'm like, who is this lady? This is amazing. So yes, yeah, I'm excited. I love Lynn. I just met Lynn, but I love her. I love Latrice.
I love
I'm in
y'all.
awe right now. This is amazing.
Yeah, and what I want to share is that your courses are going to be specifically, they are specifically catered to you and what you're doing in your Wakana business. A, in your personal life, but also B, in your Wakana business. So we have taken this thing very seriously. Earlier this summer, I came to a realization that I'm no longer looking for solutions. I am the solution. I am the solution. I'm the solution. We've been talking for 50 years about the wealth gap, and it has not gotten any better. We have been talking for 50 years about home ownership. It has not gotten any better. As a matter of fact, it has gotten worse. And we have been left behind. And I'm saying no more. And so if you are ready to roll up your sleeves and add wealth to your already very powerful wellness platform, because what it's going to take business owners in Wakana who also have a strong mastery of their money to increase what you're doing in the wellness area. Because when you get out there and start talking to people and what they need to help themselves and go on to the next level, you cannot have wealth without money. You cannot have money without wellness. It all works together. If you're sick, you don't have any money, you're in a bad situation. If you have money and you're sick, you're in a bad situation. So they really do work together. And so I'm just excited about what you all are doing. And so that we can all learn from the basic level. And that's the other thing. We have to take away the shame, because everybody has either had a money problem, is having a money problem, or will have a money problem at some time in the future. And what we're here to do is to help support that. In other cultures, if you're in the Jewish community, the Irish community, when they have money issues, they come to the table, they talk about it, and they resolve it. And we typically are too ashamed and embarrassed. And I say that's over. So thank you so much.
Wow, girl, you are dropping the mic. I mean, this chat is blowing up. They're loving everything you're sharing. And it is recorded, guys. So we're going to bless you, and you're going to have a chance to listen to this again. So that is awesome. Kathy, any remarks? Because this has just been exciting. I know Kathy's our VP of Finance. So I know, just like Christian, a lot of the concepts, some of you might have known, but I'm telling you what, you took everybody to another level tonight. Whether you think you knew something or not, we learned something tonight, okay? Everybody.
Absolutely, to another level. Yeah, you know, like Christian, there's some things that I'm already doing, you know, the 10, 10, 30, 50, you know, I've known and been following you, Lynn, for years. I'm really kind of one of those fangirls right now because I've been a financial nerd. I used to teach about these things when we would do live we would call them workshops. There was no such thing in webinars when I was doing this way back in the late 80s, early 90s. But this is powerful because no matter what, we need this re-injection of information. We need to know what to do moving forward in the new technology of money, what we need to be doing to be leaving a legacy, how we tie that in with Wakana, and how we really set the stage for what's coming our way. And really, you know, with you being able to guide us and show us exactly how to handle all of these billions, I feel so excited. So thank you so much for everything that you've done so far, and we're just looking forward to the future.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm looking for any questions. They did have a question regarding the meaning of work, Lynn. So if you can answer that, and then we can let you go. The meaning of work.
Oh, I got that one.
Oh, you can share it, Kathy.
I sure did. I don't know if she's there. Let her say her own thing.
Your microphone, Lynn.
Let's
see.
Okay, great, awesome. So work. So I came to a realization, excuse me, over the past 3 years. We've been in a pandemic for 3 years and we're just coming out of it, but this has been a 3-year process. 2020, 2021, and 2022, because we're at the end of 2022, just about. And I became aware that people are more committed to keeping their problems than they are to getting rid of them. Let me repeat. People are more committed to keeping their problems than they are to getting rid of them. How many of us know we want to lose some weight and keep eating the wrong stuff? How many of us know we want to get our money to the next level and keep buying the wrong things or not saving or whatever it is? That is a fact that the human brain is wired for comfort, but the human spirit is wired for growth. But the mind is like a compass. It can only point in one direction at a time. It can either point towards comfort, which is why we stay in toxic relationships, jobs we don't like, in relationships we don't like, and allow ourselves to be depleted year after year and we complain. Or it can point towards growth. Every now and then we make a decision, I've had enough, I've hit rock bottom, I'm gonna grow. Well, work puts us in a position where every single day we can move towards our spirit, which wants to grow. I am not like just everybody else. I have things, I need to lose my COVID-15 too, I do. But I just ate a whole bunch of food that my husband brought last night from the doggone Texas Southern University homecoming game. It was some crab, macaroni, something that I did not need, but I ate it anyway. Well, here's the work. Work means wisdom, opportunity, revealed kinetically. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. So what is work? Let's just say, for example, you have to go to your job tomorrow and you're a nurse and you don't want to go. The conditions are terrible. You don't like being there. Here's the deal. God is not promoting powders. You got to be great and excellent and in the spirit of gratitude where you are right now. So even if you don't like your job, even if you don't like the work you have to do at home, your dishes, whatever, if you look at it as wisdom, what am I going to learn from this? What can I gain? What is God going to give me in this experience? It's going to change your attitude. And your attitude of gratitude is what gives you latitude. You cannot grow with a bad spirit. You cannot grow being angry. You cannot grow being fed up. You cannot go to your job every day pissed off at everybody and think it's gonna happen for you. It's not. So the first thing about work is that it's wisdom. So even the stuff you don't want to do, if we had 2 more hours, I could tell y'all about 200,000 things I do not want to do. Okay, I don't want to do them. I don't want to do them. But it's a wisdom. Next, the O is for opportunity. What does that mean? That means God has given me another chance to get it right. So even if I don't want to go to that job or do that task or whatever it is, every last person on this call has some work that we don't want to do. But if I look at it as a wisdom, opportunity, meaning, thank you, God, that I even have eyes to see. Thank you, I got legs to walk on. Thank you, I have a car to get to the job I want to go to. An opportunity, he's going to then reveal. One of the things that I always say to people about success is you have to keep moving forward until you collide into your dream. There is no date or no time. When I was trying to work for Russell Simmons, I was told in March of 2007 that I was going to be running a national program. I almost gave up, quit. It wasn't until October of 2009, 2 years later, almost 3 years later, when I was not just appointed over the program, I was running the whole company. Do you know how many times I want to quit? You know how many times I want to call and tell somebody off? But it was revealed to me at the time when I was ready. So we have to let God do his job. So work is a wisdom, opportunity revealed, and the K stands for kinetically. Kinetic means action. People say, well, just pray about it. Yeah, you pray, but the Bible says faith without work, come on. Faith without work is dead. If somebody says to you, I'm hungry, you tell them to go pray. No, you're supposed to give them a hot dog, okay? There's some work that has to go along with it. So work means wisdom, opportunity, revealed kinetically. And it's the basis of all of my training in finances, because financial training, yeah, you're gonna get the things that you're supposed to do, but why don't you do them? Why don't you save? Why do you overspend? Why don't you have an emergency fund? Why haven't you expanded your capacity? It's the work that gets us there. So that's what it means. Thank you so much for the question.
You are preaching. This is so powerful. Oh my goodness, they're blowing up the chat. What a gift you are. Dr. Lynn is what Mary Graham just said. You guys are not ready. I mean, we are ready to go to the next level. We're ready to enroll in this special academy that you've designed for our Wakana group. So thank you so much, Lynn. I know you probably have a busy night, lots to do. I know I'm just rushing home and I have my vegan, I try to eat a little bit healthy. So it's my vegan burger, my sweet potato fries, and my salad. So I'm actually eating as I'm listening to you now. But thank you so much. Any questions, guys? Maybe one last question before we let you go, because that question blessed us. Anything else, guys, before we let Lynn go and enjoy her night, enjoy her husband? Let's see. Anyone else? I think it's just comments.
I have a question, actually. Lynn, we all are students of, what we decide to be students of. But I heard you say that, you have students that go from 0 to 100, and then you also have students that go from 100 to 1,000. Do you have a designated program, or do you have somewhat of like a curriculum that is basically for the beginner, or is it based off of you just kind of like, when you land on the page, is the layout? I guess I'm trying to put this into words. Do you have something that is kind of like from start to finish, like a curriculum, like a step 1, step 2, step 3?
Absolutely. So in the Entrepreneurs Academy, for starters, there's probably 6 dozen classes. And although I do not mandate that you start at the beginning, I highly, highly recommend that everyone starts at the beginning. And the reason why is because of this example I'm going to give you now. My oldest daughter is a math genius. She went to Harvard when she was 15. She took calculus without a calculator. Now, I didn't go to Harvard. I went to Northwestern, and I took calculus in college with a calculator. Prior to that, when she was 11, I put her in Kumon because she was testing at the 20th grade level in math when she was 11. But when she went to Kumon, Kumon is a Japanese-based learning program that basically their theory is speed plus accuracy equals mastery. So even though she was testing at the 20th grade level, when she started in Kumon, they put her at the 3rd grade math because there was one little thing that she was missing in division. It wasn't that she didn't know how to do it. She just didn't have it as a quick repeat thing. So in your Wealth Academy, my goal is for everybody to go back and get whatever you may have missed. And I always say to people who think, well, I'm already past that. Well, if you passed it, prove it. Because here's the deal. The race is not won by the swiftest, but by he who endures to the end, by she who endures to the end. So you start with budgeting, building streams of income. Every single time someone takes the building streams of income class, they learn something that they didn't know, even if they already had 8 businesses. So we take the books and the courses. Some of the courses are self-paced, where you go in, listen to your assignment, you submit your assignment, and I grade. And I fail people. And there are a few people who I failed who got offended and quit. You think I failed you because I don't like you? No, I failed you because I care. I grade because I care. Most people who fail an assignment, they're like, oh my God, Lynn, I was rushing and I just put anything. You can't do that with me, because here's the other thing. I am not going to be the hairstylist with no hair or the dentist with no teeth. If you are working with me, you need to show that you've learned something. Otherwise, don't tell people you know me. Don't tell people I know Lynn and you still broke. That's not what I want. I actually want each and every one of us to get someplace. So yes, it is a curriculum. It probably takes the average person about a year. My students who started in 2020 at the height of the pandemic, by I would say the summer of 2021, their businesses were flourishing. They had their own, like everything was growing. They had their 6 to 9 months emergency fund and so on and so forth. I have people, their credit score went from 600 to 800, 500 to 700. And I'm not promoting any kind of credit repair. I'm not saying go pay anybody. I'm talking about basic things. The problem with all of the things that I share is that we have to do all of them. So some people make the money, but don't know how to make it grow, so they lose the money. Okay, then some people know how to get their money back, but then they don't know how to protect their wealth. So something happens and their trademark is not in place, so they lose their license or something like that. So it all works together in a curriculum. And my best advice is for everybody to go back to financial kindergarten. And even if you are an advanced student, that just means you'll make a double quicker. Does that make sense?
Definitely makes sense. This is great. This is great.
Awesome.
Now, somebody snuck in one question. Is that, do you have time for that, or should we?
Absolutely, yes. No
Can you explain 10, 10, 30, 50?
Yes, so the first 10% of every dollar you get, you tithe. That's what I believe. I tithe to my church. You may tithe to something else that is important to you. It may not be a church. It may be a community center or something that's important to you. But I absolutely positively believe that good givers are great getters. And anything that I've ever done, there is nothing that I've done. When I first started working with MC Light, we started giving away scholarships. When I first started working with Russell Simmons, I was in his nonprofit. I wasn't even making a salary. But because I was able to work in that organization, I then wrote my own salary. So I'm a big believer in giving. So that's the first 10%. The next 10% you save. And if you already have money coming out of your check for your 401k, then I'm going to challenge you to take another 10% of your net pay and place it in an emergency fund. Right now, because of the recession, high yield savings accounts are very popular. I have a high yield savings account with American Express. I have a high yield savings account with Ally. Those are two places, and there are many, where if you've got some money sitting in the bank, you'd rather put it in a high yield savings account before you put it in just your regular bank account. And this is above and beyond whatever you're doing for investing. The next 30% is cash on a separate debit card. I'm going to tell everybody, if you have a Cash App business, a Venmo business, a Zelle business, you can't live off of Cash App. I know people who are getting paid through Cash App and then spending and paying other people through Cash App. No, if you're getting money from Cash App, Square, Zelle, Shopify, whatever, put all of your money in your account that you are managing your expenses out of, and then divvy it up from there. One, you're going to be able to show your liquidity, and two, you're going to be much stronger if you need a business line of credit. So your 30% is for your incidentals. I recommend that it's on a separate debit card, separate from your tithing, separate from your giving, and this is what you use for groceries, gas, hair, nails. If it doesn't fit, get rid of it. One of my students many years ago, she said, Lynn, I got it. She said, the problem is the 30% is only enough for my hair. I said, well, okay, get your hair done. And when you die of starvation because you don't have any money for food, we're going to look in your casket and say, her hair sure was sharp. Okay? So what it does is it forces you to only spend what's there, because I don't care who you are. It's hard not to spend money unless you have some control mechanism for most people. Some say money talks, but I say money walks. So if you quietly, you don't know where it went. Okay? So It's there to help protect us and keep us in a budget. And then the remaining 50% stays in your checking account for your bills. You've got one or two situations. You either have more than enough money. If you have more than enough money, that's not a license to go buy a bigger car, a bigger house. That was me. Every time I got a raise, I raised my expenses. If you get a raise and raise your expenses, you got more debt. You have less freedom. And so it doesn't mean that you never reward yourself, but what you do is you pay off your debt first and you allocate your extra money to get the things that you want, including putting money into your business, investing in your business, paying off some debt, saving for a vacation. Although I don't take vacations, I only take business trips, and then I vacation on my free time. So the whole trip is a tax write-off. I teach about that and how to get your money back. So that's how you do the 10, 10, 30, 50. If you don't have enough money, so most people can say, this is how much money I have coming in. When I look at my 50%, it's not enough. You must subtract. Guess what I had to subtract? My ego. I had to take my kids out of the private school. They went to the free school where I was already paying taxes. I had to take my kids out of the cheerleading competition program. They got in the free cheerleading program at the free school. I took them out of ballet. They got in the dance ministry for the free dance ministry at the free church. I had to start subtracting things. I was spending money on stuff that I could not afford. And numbers don't lie. 1 + 1 = 2. If your stuff adds up to 10, it'll never get into 2. So while we're building business, if we never master basic mathematics, we will never be wealthy. What you do with $1 is what you will do with 10, 100, 1,000, or a million of them. So that's basically the 10, 10, 30, 50. Now, for those who are business owners, I can break it down. I can say the 10, 10, 20% for incidentals, 20% for your business, where you are literally investing in your business, and all of your business investments are tax write-offs. So when you buy your Entrepreneurs Academy kit, that's a tax write-off. You're getting that money back. So that's free for you, okay? And then 40% for your bills. So 10, 10, 30, 50. But if you have a business, you need to invest in your business, then 10, 10, 20 for incidentals, 20 for your business, and then 40% for your bills.
Okay, guys. Well, you have given us so much more than we actually promised. So we thank you. We owe you for this because I know you are so busy. But that was amazing, guys. It's 9:30. I know it's 10:30 your time, Lynn. And so we're going to conclude with the questions, guys. Tomorrow night, you can rejoin us. Now, Lynn's not going to be there, but we will share this recording from tonight. But tomorrow night, we're going to have another version of our founding members program. If you have questions regarding that, we'll answer them tomorrow night because it looks like we are out of time. So thank you, guys. Give Lynn a big shout out again, guys. I see just so much love in this chat for you. They are signing up right now, Lynn. They're saying they are signing up. They're fired up and they're saying, thank you.
Good. Thank you all. Let's do this together. The harvest is here and the time is now. It's our season to win. God bless you all.
Awesome. We're going to go sign up too. So I'm on my way as well, guys. We're leading by example. We appreciate you, Lynn. So God bless everybody.